Good evening. I'm going to call our meeting to order. First of all, we have attendance, all except for Mr. Armbruster is in attendance. We have before we have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Okay. All right. What is our first case of the evening?
Our first case is from Mr. Alex Martin, who is on behalf of the Dries Company, and he's requesting dimensional variances for the front and rear yard setbacks on 6 flag lots in the Shearborn subdivision. The sites are all located in Shearborn subdivision on Eagle Ledge Court and Shearborn Drive and currently are vacant. All the adjoining properties on Eagle Ledge Court currently have a detached single-family residence, and all the adjoining properties on Shearborn are all vacant. All of the properties are within the residential conventional subdivision zone, and the RCVS zone permits single-family residential dwellings, detached and qualified manufactured homes. Direction 2030, which is the area-wide comprehensive plan update adopted by the Kent County Planning Commission in September of 2014, recommends the land use for those properties as well as all the other properties in that area for residential uses with a density of 4.1 to 7.0 dwelling units per net acre. The applicant is proposing to reduce the minimum setbacks to 5 feet from the front and rear property lines. Section 3.04C states the minimum front yard setback is 30 feet and the minimum rear yard setback is 25 feet in the RCVS zone. On May 22nd, 2006, the Erlanger Board of Adjustments granted a dimensional variance to the Dries Company to reduce the minimum front yard setback to 25 feet on all these properties in the Shearborn. And Section 5.06B requires the minimum front yard setback shall be measured from the lot line that is closest to and most nearly parallel to the street right-of-way and is not part of the flag stem. This regulation came into effect when the Erlanger adopted the current zoning ordinance in October 2021. The previous zoning ordinance required the measurement to start at the street right-of-way line. The 2 lots on Eagle Edge Court were recorded in October of 2017, and the 4 lots on Shearborn Drive were recorded in 2021. Dries is requesting to reduce the minimum setbacks at 3878 Eagle Edge Court, which is lot 244, to 5 feet from the front property line and for variance of 20 feet, and to 5 feet from the rear property line for a variance of 20 feet. They're requesting to reduce the minimum setback at 3874 Eagle Edge Court, which is lot 245, to 5 feet from the front property line for a variance of 20 feet. That's the only variance for that property. They're requesting to reduce the minimum setbacks at 3850 Shearborn Drive, which is lot 301, to 5 feet from the front property line for a variance of 20 feet, and to 5 feet from the rear property line for a variance of 20 feet. At 3848 Shearborn Drive, which is lot 302, to 5 feet from the front property line for variance of 20 feet, and 5 feet from the rear property line for variance of 20 feet. The 3846 Shearborn Drive, which is lot 303, to 5 feet from the front property line for variance of 20 feet. And at 3836 Shearborn Drive, which is lot 307, to 5 feet from the front property line for a variance of 20 feet.
All right. Okay. Whoever is here to speak for or against, please stand and raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Yeah, we're good. Those who is presenting the case, please come to the podium, present your case.
So I don't have too much more to add
So, yeah, these are all of these are all flag lots, is that correct? Yeah, okay. Looks a little different configuration of what the offsets are from Front Street and everything. Gentlemen, have any questions? Okay. Anyone else? Anyone else have any comments or questions? Mm-hmm. It's a sodium, please.
We built our house there in 2018, after looking at a couple different subdivision advisories, one in the enclave, yards were too small. They sold us on the Vistas and Sherborne, which were considered executive style houses and larger lots. So we agreed to build our house there. My wife and I had a
I'm even an electrical engineer, I should be able to figure this out.
Yeah, really straining. Okay.
I think I have a big enough mouth anyway. But anyway, so when we were laying our house out with trees, we wanted a bigger backyard, and they wouldn't allow us to push our house any closer to the street because of the ordinances that are the zoning laws within the city of Erlanger. And what I don't want to happen in the future, if this goes through, there's an adjacent lot right next door to me that is still vacant. That there's a precedent set that somebody else could do the same thing. Because I like the way our house sits. I like the way we still have some privacy without having the setbacks reduced or increased or whatever it is. And so I'm just here to say that I'm opposed to varying the zoning laws, the ordinances that the city of Erlanger has established. I mean, they're there for a reason, to keep us, all in uniformity throughout the city, and I want to maintain that.
Okay. So I get this clear on this. Now, the lot you were making reference to that isn't involved, the one next to you, is a standard lot. It's not a flag lot. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. So therefore, that would have to comply with the setbacks that are established. Is that correct, Mr. Stewart?
Yeah, it would. It's not being presented today.
Right.
So what I'm saying is I don't want a precedent set. So if we go ahead and make a variance for these flag lots, I don't want that. Somebody can come along and say, well, you did it for these lots here, and I want to make my house deeper or longer, however you want to do it. I want it uniform. I want to keep it the same way. Even next to, I think the Higgins there live next door to where the lots they're talking about. So.
Okay, I understand that these flag lots, they were already established in the...
They were. I mean, based on, when we had to pick our lots out, there was a plot plan. Everything was already laid out the way it was supposed to be.
They were already...
Yeah, Eagle Edge was officially recorded in 2017.
Okay.
And the ordinance changed in October 2021
Okay.
of how to measure the front yard setback for a flag lot.
For the flag lots itself, okay.
And we also paid a lot premium at the time for our lot. So that's another thing that, in 2018, they were charging lot premiums. I don't know if they are now, but we paid a lot of money to have the lot that we do have, so.
All right, thank you.
All right.
Any questions? Any more questions or discussion? Okay, I think a motion is in order. just locating that on the plats. Okay, you gentlemen want to make a motion? Mr. Stewart, these have to, there are several of these lots involved now. Do they have to be, I understand, a variance has to accompany the lot and property. Do they have to be done individually, or?
I mean, I have paperwork for each individual lot that'll be recorded, but the board can handle it as they see fit. They wish to do each individual lot, that's fine.
Okay,
Have a motion on each one, or they could do it as a group.
okay. Very good.
If the board has questions on some of the technicalities of the zoning, I can try to answer them before if they're not comfortable with making a motion just yet. This is hard to understand for no one who's not in the middle of it every day, and even then, it's a little fuzzy, so.
It is and it isn't. I understand his concern there on the lot down the road. Which one was yours? I'm sorry.
Please, yeah.
We're in 3882, right next to it, right next to the two lots in question.
3882.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if they were to move the house back towards, we would lose, what, 20 feet of, because right now it's kind of, the houses are straight in line, so you get your most opening, most space, but if they moved it back, you would lose that privacy. So that's our concern.
Okay, you have that lot, it's not built on yet, is that correct, or?
3890 is vacant.
We have the lot adjacent to the two that they're
3882.
making the motion for.
Okay.
Mr. Phelps is in 3886.
I'm
and then
Patrick
Mr.
Higgins.
In 3882,
Which is right next to it.
which is
Yeah.
right next to the 3878, which is the first one on the docket tonight.
Yeah, we also build a deck wrap around the other side close to the empty lot. So if they do that, we're, losing our deck the view from the deck, as we spent, a lot of money on the deck, just, to have that view.
78, lot 244.
If the board had any other questions or would like me to respond to any concerns, I'm happy to do so.
I'm sorry, please.
Hi, sorry, just if the board had any other questions or wanted me to address any of their concerns or anything, I'm happy to do so.
Okay, yeah, we're trying to take this plat and try to figure out where this will actually sit in relation to.
Sorry, I should have included addresses or something. That would probably make it a little bit easier.
So,
Here's the two on Eagle Ledge.
okay,
Okay. Mr. Higgins lives here.
Okay.
Mr. Phelps lives here.
all right,
This is the first one, this is 3878.
okay,
This is 3874, which is, they made one paper for each lot.
okay. So the setback is here?
Actually, it's, the way the ordinance is written, you have to be measured from this line is the 25 feet, because the street's here.
Because the street's, the location of the street.
Now, I will tell you that in the rest of the flag lots in the subdivision, Dries has the house pointed like this.
Right,
So when you look at the street, they're pointed sideways. So the front yard, this, people consider this the front yard.
considered, okay,
By zoning, this is the front yard. And this one is on my desk waiting for a permit, and it is facing this way. And this one is facing this way, the Higgins house.
okay,
So they will all be facing the same direction, because there's this private drive right here to access their lot and then these two lots.
okay. So this shows that driveway is not coming into the front, but this is actually the front, right?
This is, yeah,
Okay. But this is, but the way the zoning is, it's calling this line, the side, which we'd call the side yard line.
right, if you stand there and look at the house, it looks like that's the sideline.
I got you.
But because the street's here, like on a normal lot, the front's always the street.
Right. So, but in essence, this isn't the driveway is actually the street that's facing, where you're gonna turn off into the front of the house, so,
Right.
which would make
The
this,
front door is right here,
yeah.
is the same as here, you can see the sidewalk.
So they would be, yeah,
So it's, the average person looks at it, looks like this is the front yard, that's the side yard,
Okay.
rear yard.
okay. So that would put, that variance is actually, yeah, if that's, it would be side yard setbacks, but it's listed as.
The average person,
yeah,
right,
Okay,
normal person.
yeah, okay. A little better understanding of where that's gonna be
And it looks like
situated.
they're would do the same, I mean, I think they're gonna do the same thing for all of them, especially the ones, on the other page.
These are all facing the driveways, the
These are all stacked.
egress.
Actually, one driveway.
All of the proposed homes would face the private drive
The
that's
private
coming off
drive,
of
okay.
the main streets in both of those sections.
All right,
So, yeah, the other flag lots that they've had built on, the houses do face the private drive so far.
okay,
And like I said, 244 is on my desk, and it is showing facing the private drive.
okay.
244 is this one, correct?
Right.
3870.
Any questions or discussion, anything else? Motion's in order. You gentlemen? I'm sorry? Oh, okay.
By zoning standard, because the street's here, this is considered some house. But the house is 20 feet closer to my house. Right. Because, these lots are narrow this way, so they're going to get a variance of some sort. Or else they would have some kind of house. Why can't they just, it's the house, this is the front of the house. Well, it's a signage just like this. It's a sign from the street.
Because the lot, the way it is, they could slide this over.
Yeah. So it depends on the style of house that this wants to buy.
I don't see, you know, any way to do these without that.
So like, it's gonna be facing the same direction that yours is. They can't build it.
And
So when the average person, normal person walks on the street, it looks like this is no more of our But zoning.
you can't really control what somebody's gonna, you know.
That's true. And the new regulation, before you get over from here, it gives you the setback. And this we consider a sideline. The new ordinance says that this is now the front line, that when you look at 25 feet from. So they're just trying, this is the only one in the way down right this second. They were trying to get all these, because the other ones on Sherborne, where now it's called that
Huh?
they want to have it all done, so when it comes out.
Yeah, that's it. I- It's, you know, anytime you get a flag on, it's an unusual situation, and, you know, that's the,
Right, but if this was a,
I had,
if this
I lived
house
over,
was gonna go on a lot.
years ago, I lived over Independence, and, that same thing, yeah. There's flag lots behind me, so I'd go out and sit on my deck, I was looking down on my neighbor's front yard, you know, and it was, and that house was faced the same direction as mine, instead of turning it on there. Had it been turned, there was there was a flag lot, and there was two houses down there, had it been turned, you know, I'd been looking at the side yard, it was a little bit more private. It wasn't an issue, you know, except the guy had the lousiest beer I ever had. You know, he didn't invite me over. I always bought cheap beer.
So 40 would also be shared cost, maintaining that in the future, so. So like I said, the average person walking down the street, this is the front yard, the side yard, so this will probably most likely be the same, because that's what they've done so far with the two units on Ridge. They face that driveway. So. And so that, I mean, we're showing,
So we're going to do Eagle Ridge first and then the other ones after, I guess.
Huh?
We're going to do Eagle Ridge first and then the other ones after, or all of them at once?
I think all of them at once, yeah. But,
Because I mean, the way you explain it is just.
I think we should tell them if we're gonna do each one of them individually, those is $25 per.
That one was a wacky.
I was wondering about that. I was wondering, you lump that together, I know that, you know, a variance has to stay with the property. Once you create a variance for a property, it stays with that property, and I was wondering, you know, how do you do this lump sum, but apparently he's gonna divide it up and make sure it's recorded. Yay or nay? Okay, any more questions? All right, I think we're prepared to make a motion.
I move to grant the application of Mr. Alex Martin with the Dries Company to reduce the minimum front and rear yard setbacks to 5 feet at 3878 Eagle Ledge Court, 3850 Shearborn Drive, and 3848 Shearborn Drive, and to reduce the minimum front yard setbacks to 5 feet at 3874 Eagle Ledge Court, 3846 Shearborn Drive, and 3836 Shearborn Drive. The granting of these variances will not adversely affect the public health, safety, or welfare, will not alter the essential character of the general vicinity, will not cause a hazard or nuisance to the public, and will not allow an unreasonable circumvention of the requirement of the zoning regulations. The motion shall be pursuant to the factual determinations from the evidence provided, including without limitation the staff report, which is hereby determined to be accurate.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Yeah, second.
Okay. And a roll call vote, please.
Mr. McVeigh,
Aye.
Mr. Betas,
Aye.
Mr. Conley.
Yes. Motion passed and granted. Next case, Mr. Stewart.
Yes, we have a case number 2 is from Ms. Jennifer Holt, who owns the property at 847 Lake Run Lane. The site's located on, and she's asking for variance, dimensional variance on installing an air conditioning unit in the side yard to be closer to the side property line than what's permitted. The site's located on Lake Run Lane in the Lakemont subdivision and currently has a detached single-family residence. All the adjoining properties currently have a detached single-family residence, with the property behind the house being a dedicated open space. The subject property and the properties to the northwest, southeast, and southwest are within the planned unit development zone. The PUD zone is designed to allow single-family residential dwellings detached on smaller lots, provided that there is dedicated open space preserving the natural features of the property. Direction 2030, which is the area-wide comprehensive plan update, adopted by the Kent County Planning Commission in September 2014, recommends a land use for the reference site as well as all the surrounding properties for residential uses with a density of 4.1 to 7.0 dwelling units per net acre. The applicant is proposing to move the air conditioning unit from the rear of the house and install it a minimum of 6 feet from the left side property line. Section 5.08B1 states that residential uses may have mechanical equipment extend into rear and side yards, provided a 10-foot buffer remains between this extension and any lot line. The house was drawn and permitted to be constructed 10.58 feet from the left property line. Air conditioning units typically extend out from the house wall approximately 4 feet. So the applicant is requesting a setback variance of 4 feet.
Okay, very good. Those who are going to speak for or against, I presume you. Please come up and state your reason for your request, please.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Holt. Thank you for letting me speak here. Mark's been a huge help. I was unaware of these issues. I built with Dries, paid a premium for the lot years ago, and the AC unit had been moved several times due to issues, I was told, and then Dries eventually made me pay to move it before I even bought the house. So it's been a continuous issue. It's now been everywhere it could be on the house. So unfortunately, right now, it's on the back corner of the house that sits literally right on the patio and the deck stairs. So I want to have a sidewalk put in, and you sit on the deck, and it sits right there, and now it also sits where my neighbor's deck, since the houses are so close on the other side, he looks down at my AC unit when they're on their deck. So it would be much nicer for everyone, and I've talked to my neighbors, if it goes to the other side of the house where there isn't anything and no one really sees it.
Okay, very good. Any questions?
And I did go around, I've spoke to Mark too. I went around and took pictures of all the other property, or just not even all of them, just some, just driving down my street and into the subdivision in Southwick where either a variance has been granted or people moved it later, because the houses aren't even that far apart and the AC units are on the side. I think mine is actually one of the only ones on Lake Run where it is in the back.
I wasn't sure. The, let's get it.
Can I see those pictures, please?
Yeah.
Yeah, so like here, like my direct neighbors, I mean, you can see, like, some of them are incredibly close. And they, I mean, Mark's checked a couple of them, they were on the back, they were on the side now, and I don't know when and how they were moved, but that's where everyone's is. Mine's still in the back.
We have had a change in the requirements for
It's
that.
the same as it was before. It's the measurements are same as they were before. I know the board has granted moving air conditioners in the past,
Okay.
but it's been 10 feet.
So my house actually has a bump out right here. A lot of people put theirs right behind the bump out, so you don't see it from the road or anything. This is a fireplace, I don't know why it's not, like, that's actual structure, but you know what I mean? You have that in my foundation, I don't know why it doesn't show.
Is that where you're proposing to put it
I
behind
mean,
it?
I'll put it anywhere over here, I'll put it there,
Okay.
I'll put it here, wherever you guys. Just not
It just-
just not right here, right next to the patio where the sidewalk is gonna walk on the
Sure.
deck.
Kind of hard to get over top of the air conditioner.
Right.
I'm familiar with I live in the neighborhood, so.
Do you?
Yeah, they are very close there.
I mean, and our neighbors, I mean, a lot of them have, let's see, you know, they put it, I mean, this is my direct, you know, those are right next door. Look how close that one is. I mean, which this one I think is supposed to be on the back, I moved it. I don't think anyone gets permission. But, right.
So you plan on putting it to where there's nobody at all, no neighbors? That's where you're planning on putting it, where there's no neighbors? Is that
But no, I
correct?
have a neighbor there. No, there's a neighbor. I mean, our
On the
house
other side?
is. Oh, yeah, yeah. So
Okay.
there's, all the houses, yeah, have neighbors. Everyone's is on the side though, other than mine,
Okay, this is
back.
his patio on this side? Is that correct, or
He
deck?
doesn't have the patio.
The deck?
His deck's over there.
Okay,
Yeah, he doesn't have,
And he currently overlooks hers, correct?
okay.
this person's patio, so right here it sits, and, I mean, it's right there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this would probably be the least,
Yeah, they put a tree, and I was like, wow, you've got a while for that tree to go through there, but yeah.
okay. Any questions, anything? No?
So does it matter, like on my bump out with the fireplace, does it matter if it would go there or there? I don't care.
Aesthetically, if you put it, it's a little better view from the street,
Put it on
to put it on the backside, but that's your discretion, our,
Maybe a homeowners association as well, but that's a different topic.
Is it? Well, you know what? It's funny you mention that, because I have an issue with everything.
Yeah.
is there-
You change your gutter colors, it's an issue.
oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
there's all kinds of things.
Yeah, I had to get permission to change the color of my house. Yeah, but this person, he's on the homeowner board.
Gotcha.
Yeah, he's one of them that are, so I talked to him about it, and he's like, you have to do it.
It would probably benefit him, I could see where,
Well, right,
yeah,
because,
sure.
yeah, because theirs is also tucked behind a bump out, yeah, mine's just sitting right there.
We could allow, if we allow you to go ahead and do this within that boundary, then you have to get permission from them as well, is that, yeah?
No,
Okay.
not from the homeowners, because he would have told me, if there was something, like
Okay.
painted, yeah.
I would still double check on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, well, everything else I've done, believe me, he's told me that.
Gotcha.
You have to get permission
is a little bit more strict than where I'm at, but yeah.
Okay.
No, I'm good. I have copies here.
All right, appreciate it. So, got a motion in order? Want to make a motion?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve.
Second?
Aye.
Roll call vote?
We need the motion itself.
Huh?
We need the actual motion.
Oh, we didn't read this motion.
I shall read it.
Okay, we're taking a shortcut.
It's a short one, a short motion, yeah.
Where we at?
This has got to be official, okay?
You want to read it?
You get the, okay.
Yeah, the motion to approve to grant the application of Mark Termeri to install air conditioning unit 4 feet from the right side property line. The granting of this variance will not adversely affect the public health, safety.
Could you change Mark to Jennifer Holt
I can, yes.
Was wondering that.
and make it the left property line?
Sure,
Because there seems to be a mistake on the staff report,
absolutely.
which is not accurate evidently.
We will start again. Approve the motion to grant the application of Jennifer Holt to install the air conditioning unit 4 feet from the left side of the property line. The granting of this variance will not adversely affect the public health, safety, or welfare, will not alter the essential character of the general vicinity, will not cause a hazard or nuisance to the public, and will not allow an unreasonable circumvention of the requirements of the zoning regulations. The motion shall be pursuant to the factual determination for the evidence provided, included without limitations, the staff report which is hereby determined to be accurate.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. We need a roll call vote, please.
Mr. Betas?
Aye.
Mr. McVeigh?
Aye.
Mr. Conley?
Yes,
Whoever you are.
motion carries.
Okay.
More business this evening?
That is the last of the cases for this evening.
Okay, do we have to vote on our officers? Do we need to resolve that?
We could do that, or I guess we could do that if you wish.
Okay. What all officers do we have to install? Chairman, vice?
We could probably should go with a chairman and a vice chairman.
Chairman and vice, okay. Do we have a nomination for a chairman?
You.
Thank you.
Steve.
I got one. Okay, I'll accept. Do we have a nomination for a vice chairman? What do you think, Betty?
Sure, absolutely.
Go for it, George.
We have a vice chairman. Do we all accept that?
We do.
We do,
Accept.
okay, I'll accept it. Okay. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
Go ahead, sir.
Motion to adjourn, yes.
A second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.